Shall we play a game?
Greetings, Earthlings. Hello to Rails, Mark B, Dave Randall, Uberk, and people in the vertical as well. Cool to see. Hello, Mesoleptic J. It's been a while. All right, we're going to run, for no reason whatsoever, I pick one at random, 1S47, and we're doing it in the snow. And we've got wetness turned up as well, just for the fun of it. Let's wake this thing up, eh? Master key, doors, headlights, 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 instrument lights, because I probably want them. Wakey wakey train. We are in the class 87. Noisy thing. We are not rail driving because this train hates it still. Let's get the independent brake on. Let's get the... I'll be using the Xbox controller this morning. Only about 9 hours ago, I finished putting a steam engine to bed, so, there. And for some bizarre reason, I woke up at 6. That train guy, hello. Loading passengers. So what have we got? We have the 87. Bit snowy. Good. That's a very hard edge, isn't it? But the roof's back there. Why is that happening there? It's interesting to me that this route, while it does look really cool, has got just as many faults as the others. And the usual people are going, haha, it's beautiful, it's perfect. It couldn't be better. No, my gauge lights are not off, they're just dim. They're like me, they're dim rails. You can see them. Look. See, there's a little bit of a glow. They're just on dim mode, because you have dim mode or you have bright mode, but I'm putting it on dim mode. We have got line voltage, time to go apparently. So let's get a notch on and just wait for that to pick up. And get the little brakies off. What's buggering off over there? Yeah, a 101. We're being raced by a 101 and it's winning. Come on, you can do better than that. Arcs and sparks, good to see. Hello, Joshua McDougall. Ooh, we've got passengers for a change. Lots of them. Did I just see up on that building there? Oh, look at that. Wah, too far. It's the Just Trains, boys. There you go. Fair enough. Oh, we might want wipers. And of course that only does that wiper. So we need this one as well. That's pretty slow. Might want a little bit more wiper than that. A little bit. There you go. That'll do it. I don't care so much about that side, but this side I want to be able to see out of for some funny reason. Cool bananas. And even though it's in the snow and clearly freezing, we'll open the window. Because it's louder. Oh, I suppose we should do something about our lack of speed, shouldn't we? So we're heading off to Lancaster. I'm going to be a bit gentle with it because I have maximum wetness turned on. So I'm going to keep it in the green. So that idling 47's over there somewhere, and you can hear it all the way over here. That's funny. Let's give it a bit more juice. Uberk says maybe the beauty overshines the bugs, and when the beauty fades over time, as it always does, the bugs appear. Yeah, I think that's probably right. I think also it's not the usual players, so they haven't got the usual things to moan about. But that's okay. The 87's only supposed to have one pantograph, Dave. That is prototypical for this machine. Joshua changed his name from Train Kid to his name. Fair enough. Samuel Smith in the vertical chat. Hello to you. Samuel Smith has moved. He's in the horizontal chat now. Hello to you there in the horizontal chat. Yeah, you definitely can't raise the other pantograph. You need another 87 if you want to raise another pantograph. That's a fairly long train. Cross into the yellow a little bit, see how it goes. Doesn't seem to be slipping. More beans. Ooh, that's slipping a little bit. Now, I did get told by a driver that the anti-slip brake, I thought it was to stop you rolling back, but it actually literally applies just a tiny bit of brake. So when you're slipping, you just whack this button and it applies the tiniest bit of brake to the loco and stops it slipping. Cool idea. Alright, let's give it some more. Yeah, there's a bit more slip there. We're up to 100% on the power now, but let's see if we can get into weak field, because that'll be interesting. Here we go. Yep, made it. Why have I got my current speed on the HUD? Why did I turn that on? Okay. Oh. That setting must... I turned that on the Steam Deck because I couldn't read the speedo on one of the trains. I did not know that crossed over into the desktop version. That's interesting. Rail says, where's the 100 mile an hour section? We're in it, mate. We're in the 110 mile an hour section. Welcome to the landscape, Samuel. Train guy says, snow is pretty. This is true. You can change ends on the 87. That's fine. Or you could add an 86, Dave. You could. You might have to wait a little while, though. That train guy says 86 when? I'm tipping not this year. They've been very unsubtle that it's 86 that's coming. Very unsubtle indeed. Uberk says you turned it on when you drove the steam over Shap the other day. Ah. I did, didn't I? Yes. And we only just made it. I think this thing will do better. You wouldn't hear joints at this speed, Rails. AB in the vertical chat. This is Train Sim World 5, and the route is West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle, which everybody is, of course, calling West Coast Main Line over Shap. Because we all remember the Train Sim Classic version. And we are driving a English Class 87 electric locomotive, rolling along at 110 mile an hour, 108 at the moment. I do vaguely find it funny that someone asked me, what game is it? Yeah, you know. Hopefully you've done the survey, folks. If you need a link, let me know. I'll drop it in the chat. Oops, I just powered through a neutral zone. Naughty me. But it looks kind of like... Oh, no, we're running down. Thought I'd gotten away with it, but no, we're running down. It didn't blow the breaker, though. We can run back up again now. Back up to about 50%. So we've got about 50% throttle on. Let that settle and we can run up a bit more, because I want my speed back. My speed that I threw away because I powered through a neutral zone. Silly me. It is Train Sim World 5's Cyrillic name. How fast can you go, that train guy? Well, I happen to know it gets up to 160 going the other way. Down, Shap. Nice bit of arcing there. Good to see. Still not quite picking up the speed, so we'll give it some more juice. Because we do want to get back up. Get in there though, back up to 106 now. Yes, you Burke, 160 miles an hour down Shap. That's not actually that steep, really. I happen to know that if you park Flying Scotsman at the top of Shap, just over the top, and you release the brakes, it will make it all the way to Preston without powering, just rolling. It took it a long time, but it got there. Rails asks a neutral zone question mark. Yes, on electric railways. There are neutral zones between the sections that are powered by different substations from the grid. They still exist today, but today's trains cope with them much better. Look at me going too fast. Oh well, that's okay, as they say in the classics. We'll accept our 111 miles an hour. It does look nice in the snow, I have to say. Yeah, look, it's a little spot for workers to stand. Ooh, wibbly wobbly. "5 miles to Lancaster, I should probably start thinking about powering down. Because I don't know how well she's going to snap in the snow. We'll see. We shall see. It is possible that we will do a complete Nebworth and fly through Lancaster at 100 miles an hour. We shall see. Probably going to get there on time at least. Actually, it's interesting you mentioned during a brake test, Rails. They didn't do it in this era, but today they actually apply the brakes on the train about every minute or so. They apply, wait for them to bite, and then release them. But you've got to be careful doing braking on this train, because as you can see from the gauges here, we have gone into rear static braking. So while the air brakes are on, it's mostly rear static during the work. Double yellow. I had a really fun last night too. I fired our volunteer special train. It was only a short run from Belgrave up to Menzies Creek, and then hang around at Menzies Creek for hours while we did a barbecue, and then back to Belgrave again, and a good hour to put it to sleep. But it was a fun night. It's the one firing day, single yellow. It's the one firing day that you don't want to screw it up, because, you know, you've got a train load of about 250 people who will be full of very helpful suggestions for you if you got it wrong. To slow right down now, because we must have a platform change coming up at Lancaster, looking at the 15 miles that's just popped up on the track monitor for the oh no, I actually can't look up there for the shorts people. Or can I? No, I can't. So the shorts people can't see that, sorry. That's okay. It was a good fun run. I took over from another fireman who had lamented his bad day. We all have them occasionally, so nothing against him. And he said the loco's really bad and the coal's terrible. And then I ran it up the hill into Menzies Creek after cleaning out the fire and putting a fresh one in. Red line all the way. So no dramas whatsoever. We indeed do have a track change coming up. You can see that by the signal up here with this diagonal bar. It's telling us we'll be going off to the left, so I have to slow down to 15 mile an hour. Interestingly, the other thing, it was a real 87 driver that actually hopped into my DMs. The train has a running position and there's a recharge position over here. If I try it, release and recharge. He said they don't actually, or didn't use that in the 87s, whereas I'm used to using it on the trains that I operate in, so officially a fireman, but I do get to drive. We actually put it into release and recharge, or we call it release and charge, for about a second for every 4 or 5 cars on the train. And that's partly because we have to be able to apply the brakes again within a couple of 100 meters of releasing them, because we're running down at 1 in 30 grade, so you want the brakes fully charged back up again, and you'll take the risk of overcharging it. Sliding into Lancaster Station. Back of the train's not even in the station yard yet, and the front of it's already speeding. Brakes are on rails, don't panic. In fact, it's going to stop early, I think. So I'll probably have to release. Because if I stop early, the back of the train won't be in the platform. It's quite a long one. Red at the end. And that'll do. Pretty nice. Let's go on to the independent. Doors open. And release the train brake. And just because we haven't, I think we should go for a wander, don't you? This way. Whee! Into the snow. Little pacer over there. And over here are the buffers that you can drive straight through. G'day, mate. Get a coffee? It's a bit cold. Get a latte with 3 shots, thanks. And chuck me one of those mint cake things. And it is called Skill Issue. Excellent. And of course, the other drink that you can get in here is, there you go, Genuine Just Trains Sweat. Alright, back to the loco, since old mate doesn't want to give me a coffee. Clearly discriminating. Can I fit through there? Ooh, yes. Go and jump back in our loco and get out of here before we're late. Climb up steps. There we go, that's better. We're probably already late, but that's okay. Alright, we've got our buzz from the guard. If we really want to, we can buzz him back. Because we can. Get a bit of juice on. And drop the brake off. And away we go. Keep it in the green. Off to Carlisle now. Only 1 stop on this one. No, this is TSW5 snow, see? How are you? Welcome. You tired from resting your arm, you Burke? You should try being a steam fireman, mate. You want arms? Already speeding. Look at that. Already speeding. Never mind. Whoop, gratuitous grid shot coming up. We're not doing that with a controller, that's for sure. Because that never works with a bloody controller. Let's go over here onto a nice bit. The probably frozen river. And I think we need to do one of these, don't you? I think so. Jeez, you're pretty good. Depth of field, none. Focal point, train. There we go. And we don't need any rotation. Do a bit of motion blur, why not? Put in some motion blur. I think I want to bring the saturation up because the boring color palette. Ooh, it's getting quite chilly, isn't it? There, it's nice. Okay, oh, this sepia rubbish. And I think we'll keep all of that and go take screenshot because you can. I know it's silly, but it's okay. Ah, thank you. Off we go. Full fang, 100 mile an hour. Let's just pump it up to the middle of the yellows and see how it copes. Ooh, it's slipping. You can tell it's slipping because you watch the needles going floppy floppy. And it ran me down again. Let's run up again. You can watch what happens. So if I take it right to the middle, see, it just runs down again because it goes, "Nah, you're slipping. You're an idiot. Don't do that." You have an age-appropriate shoulder problem. I don't know what to make of that. But I hope your shoulder gets better, mate. That's always a bit shit when things like that happen. Come on, you slippery beast. We're going downhill. Don't slip so much. Let's get her back up to 80 again. I think we're going to get away with it this time. Yeah, it's stuck with 80. Good. Minus comma, you reckon, you Burke? Rails says, why do electric trains slip more? I don't think they do. They do have a lot more torque than some other trains. Struggling to get it to stick at 100%. Let's try again. There she goes. She's there now. Yeah, a little pacer. And a track to nowhere. Some branch line. Weak field. Will she hold? Will she hold? So if you wonder what I'm talking about with weak field, once you've gotten up to 100% power on the gauge, next jump is weak field, which basically overruns the traction motors. It's like overdrive on a car. We've blown the MCV. Oh dear. So we'll wait till it runs down. So right now it's running down. And once it finishes running down, which is about now, it's just reached 0. Reset. Honk for the crossing, just in time. And run it back up again. Andy Thorne, hello. I am okay, thank you. Good to see some trees with leaves in the snow. Some evergreens. Excellent. Back up to 110 for the limit now. I'm just cruising through the low 90s. Give it the rest of the beans and see how she holds. Looks good. Hey, while I think of it, there's one thing that's not in my tutorial. To put the reverser, well, they call it the master switch here, strangely, but to put the reverser into reverse, you have to push this button first and then put it in reverse. I didn't put that in my tutorial because I didn't know. You could argue I should have read the manual, but I didn't. So there. We have dropped back out. Oh no, we haven't dropped out of Wakefield. I thought we had, but we haven't. Here's old mate coming the other way. Hey dude. Bit of a steel train. Speeding through the platform there. Ooh, nice light. Nice light over there. Just show it to the vertical stream because they'll miss out on the nice light because they don't have a wide field of view. C says still not had a chance to pick this up yet. That's alright. Should I be worried there's a red signal coming and I'm doing 110 mile an hour? Oh no, it's gone yellow. It's all good. No issue. You know, if you can handle the FOMO site, you could always wait for a sale. In fact, most of Train Sim World is on sale right now on Steam. So if you're looking to fill out your collection on Steam, now's the time to do it. I've bought a few other games in the sale. I don't play them on this channel. I suppose I could if people want me to, but I do like a first-person adventure puzzle. So I picked up a bunch of those, because they're normally really expensive, but I got them all for about $10 each, so I was quite happy. I should pay a bit more attention to my speed. Running up again. Hello, Psych. How are you? And I hope life's busy in a good way, Si. C's going to pick up Welsh roots on Steam, Shrewsbury being one of them. I'm not sure if I own Shrewsbury. Let me have a quick look. Let me have a quick look. I know you guys won't be able to see this, but that's okay. And I won't be able to see the game, and that's also okay. Welsh Marshes. Actually, I don't have this one. Yeah. Okay. Newport to Shrewsbury. I'll have to have a look at that. Well, back to the game, and of course I'm speeding just as I come back. Very good. We better just power down a little, I think. Way too much. Ah, well, just leave it in off till it runs down. Most of the time, the mechanic of notching down and running down is good, but if you hold the button just a little too long, you end up in off. And when that happens, you have to let it run back down, so wait till your gauge reaches 0 before you can power on again. Because if you don't, guess what happens? Pop goes the circuit breaker. 48 miles to the esteemed establishment of Carlisle. Now, I'm just going to take it back up to half power because I actually want it to slow down a little bit because we've got a 100-mile zone coming. And it is indeed doing that, which is good. It's probably not doing it fast enough. The cool thing about this is you can brake while you're throttling, which is interesting, and it just starts running down for you. And we'll go back to hold and run back up again. Back up to about 50%. Next we'll take it to 60. There we go. So, all these people that tell me the snow's really hard to drive in, not so far. Si says, I'd like to see TSC on here. We can run some Train Sim Classic. I have no issue with Train Sim Classic at all. It's still fun. Syke says, I'm good. Great new routes today, making me very happy. And how am I? I am good. I'm glad you're finding some stuff that makes you happy. Starting to climb now. C says, just backwards and forwards to hospital, but brother has gone for intensive care to high dependency unit today, and they're already on about moving him again to a normal ward. Excellent. That's really good news. So yeah, good luck to him. Hope it goes well. Yeah, girl across the road from us went into hospital to have her baby about 2 days ago, and she's back home yesterday, so kicked out quick. It's modern medicine. The secret to staying in hospital if you need to is to be a whinger. Whinge about everything. Dave says he did the snow scenario and had no issues. Yeah, I did that too. I didn't have any dramas. I think in that one, if you're not conservative about it, you will have dramas. So if you try and stay close to the train that you're following, you'll run into yellows and reds, and if you run into yellows and reds while you're cruising up the hill, yeah, you're going to have trouble because you're going to come to a stand, and once you lose your momentum, or as one of our drives that calls it your monumentum, you'll be a bit stuffed. It's like our train last night. It was very, very wet and very, very slippery last night, but because we were cruising along quite happily at the speed limit, we had plenty of momentum, so whenever the loco slipped, whenever the loco slipped, we just gave it a bit of sand, and she just kept on going because we were going quick. She was a happy little lady last night. I think we arrived 3 minutes early at the destination last night, something like that. So it's a good run. And there was only one point where I couldn't quite work out what the fire was doing, so I went for the scatter coal everywhere method. So I just bunged in a couple of shovels, scattered all over the entire firebox, and pressure gauge went boop, and away we went. I do quite enjoy night runs. They're more challenging than day runs. Get a bit more of the juicy fruit going. Florian says, I'm absolutely loving this fruit, just trains have nailed it again. Yeah, I was saying to the others earlier, Florian, that it's interesting to me that people will quite happily overlook bugs from just trains, and they're the same bugs that they won't overlook from DTG, or especially from Rivet. Dave says, don't talk to me about hospitals. My stepmother slipped and broke her leg last Monday. That's a bit shit. Took 9 for an ambulance and another hour for the air ambulance. All the time she was out in the cold and rain. Well, that's not cool. Not cool at all. Hello, Chester Fox. How are you? I missed you earlier. I'm sorry. And all the people who are silently lurking, watching the stream, welcome to you all. You're all welcome to say hello in the chat if you'd like to, or chat about other things. The only rule I have on my channel is be nice to each other. We're in the bendy bits at the foothills of Shap now. I've got to keep an eye on the gradient. Sai says it doesn't help people using and abusing the NHS for stupid things like coughs and other minor things. Yes and no on that one, because particularly older people, if they're starting to develop a cough, that can really quickly turn into pneumonia. And these days you could still have COVID. I was actually reading some stats for Melbourne, and COVID killed 19 people this month. Oh, another red coming up. Hopefully not. There it goes. The dispatcher doesn't run very far ahead. Little signal box out in the middle of nowhere back there. Not one of the ones you can go in though, because the door's shut. Little country box. Lambridge Crossing. Dave Randall says, just a bit rubbish. Just to top it off, my brother-in-law broke his wrist, so I've been doing school runs with my nieces all week. Oh, that's fun. This is the part of this route that's a bit challenging, because you've got the corners and the reduced limits, so you've got to try and keep on top of your speed to keep your momentum up, whilst trying to do the speed limits before you get to the speed limits, and then trying not to lose too much momentum after running down to make a speed limit. Florian said that I think it's partly due to reputations preceding them, so we're talking about route quality, especially Rivet, although the community can be very harsh on Rivet, as some of their routes have been very good. Banana, for example. Yeah, they I think, actually make some decent stuff. And here's me just saying how I have to be careful with my speed, and I'm rocketing along. Yeah, absolutely rocketing along. I wanted that to run down before I put brakes on, but didn't get there. Oh, not off. Silly thing. Go to hold. That's better. Alright. Brakes off again. Just let it roll for a moment. Let things settle. Now we can start running up again, because we're about to go uphill again. So we'll run it back up to 50 now. It should be about right there, I think. There we go. That'll do. Sai says, old people I can justify, but most are young and mid-age. Irritates me, and those go to doctors for things that can be self-medicated. Hardly go to doctors. Going to your GP's okay. You've got to find the balance between being a boy and dying because you didn't go to a doctor. Psych says, I had to look up what a Bardic lamp is. Now I want one. There are some on eBay. Well, just out of interest, I'll just let you drive for a moment and I'll go get mine. So, this is the Australian version of a Bardic. I haven't actually got batteries in it, but it's got 3 colours. White, red and green. And you do it by turning the knob on the top. The predecessor version, the kerosene version, also has red, green and white. You may notice the green lens is actually blue. You can see a blue tinge in there. It's because it's a kerosene light, which is naturally yellow. The favourite lamp in my collection, I have a couple of hundred lamps, by the way. Sad, isn't it? But my favourite one's actually this. This is a guard's lamp. And they slip into a metal ring in the guard's van. And it's for the guard's reading lamp for doing the paperwork and the timetables and things. Which is quite cool. You must clean them, they're a bit disgusting. And look at that, you did a fabulous job of driving. You're not speeding or anything. Well done, folks. Yes, I have a large collection of lamps that I got when they were cheap. They're not cheap anymore. Quite expensive these days. Oh, I just went through another neutral zone. Pay attention. That's okay. We'll get there. We'll just lose a lot of speed. Just going back on the chat. All good, Sai. Psych says, I had to look up the Bardic lampies. We talked about that. Here they are monitoring traces from COVID and the other stuff in the sewage system. Yeah, we do that too. I actually work for a water company, my real life job, as distinct from my railway job. Dave says, last time I went to hospital, it's because my boss made me. It turned out I had broken my ankle, but tried to work through it. Oh. Oh, look how much speed we're using. Did I pay attention? Probably. I was just trying to catch up with the chat, though. Florian says, I've made notes for Hudless running on this route yesterday and today. Going to really enjoy running this 87 Hudless. I've actually seen Joe, British Ace, is already doing that, which is quite impressive. And I think Tintin does as well. Get some beans on, because we are starting to climb Shap itself now. So I need to get my momentum back. And hopefully I can get back up some speed. Let's see if I can jump it into weak field, hopefully. Dunk. Yep, it held. Good. That'll let me pick up some speed at least. I think she'll accelerate going uphill still until we get to the 1.7s and 1.9s, and then I'll be screwed. Sai says, I dislike Rivet, but no point slamming them. I'm not going to achieve anything. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sure they've done 350. Probably wrong, as I always am. No, look, you're not wrong. And I think what you're experiencing is just what you've experienced in the past from them. They have released some shockers. I mean, when Rosa first came out, it was terrible. It's not so bad anymore. The distant scenery is still a bit crap, but turn on the snow and it looks nice. But, you know, I think they've learnt from that a lot. And funnily enough, I've seen some of the DTG routes absolutely lauded. But Rivet made them. So, you know, under subcontract, but it was still Rivet. Yeah, most of my lamps live in the garage in shelves. Psycars, is it possible to find out what particular lamp a railway is using? You might. There are... I don't know about the UK, but in Australia there are lamp collectors' websites that can be a bit of a bonus for that. Sometimes they're described in the rules and regulations too. Weirdly enough, the... this one is not actually a Victorian Railways one. This is a New South Wales Railways one. But it's made in the UK. Back when I did Guardy things on our train, I used to like using the kerosene lamp for night trains. It was fun. C says, last time I went to hospital, I fell off my motorbike being a carer on the way to the last client and fell. Yeah, I've stacked a bike too. It's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun. As long as you can get up and walk away, it's all good. Let's leave that notching down happily as we cruise through. What have we got sitting over on the left today? We've got a bunch of hopper wagons by the looks. All nicely filled with Greta Thunberg materials. I was struggling to get any Gretas out of our coal last night. It was such clean burning coal. It was unbelievable. Starting to head downwards now. Where actually are we on the route? We are... Oh yeah, so we've done the steep bit. Going down the other side now. Florian says, Joe was his inspiration for Hudless running. It's actually a lot of fun. I don't do it much on stream because I like to have people see what's going on. But yeah. It's good stuff. Dave Randall says Bonina is good, just gutted and finished everything on it. Well, you could always reset it and do it again. C says, you know how I can tell it's rivet? When you press the outside cam where it points gives it away. Tree Sim World. That looks pretty nice. What their snow effects are doing on the rocks, that's actually quite cool. I don't think I've seen that in a route before. Cool. Ah, goes the sheep. Coming up for another curvy bit. Ooh, 88 miles an hour. That's when we go to the future, isn't it? I am well, Train Sim World Driver 1951. That's very specific. What are you going to do when they get Train Sim World 6? You're going to change your channel name? I thought my channel name's too specific. Psych says, I read something about how a bardic is often used for the last train of the night. Can you explain how they use it? I don't really know in the UK, but on our railways it's used to dispatch the train. It's one of the guards' jobs when there is a guard on the train. Most of our trains don't have guards anymore, they're driver only. But my railway still has guards because we're stuck in 1929. Sai says, just a little Florian, went to hospital next day, bust a bone in my wrist. They wanted to operate on it, but said no, why waste NHS money in time if it wasn't hurting and they don't need it, still no problems. Hey, be careful with that though. Because a broken bone can release bone marrow into your bloodstream. And that little fatty nodule that comes out of your bone marrow will actually kill you when it reaches your brain. It will give you a stroke. Sai says, steam train I went on was bellowing black-grey smoke. That smell from a steam train is lush. I did hear the UK has reopened a coal mine too, so that will make the heritage rail people a little bit happy, I think. Dave says, actually, I really can't bash Rivet. Finished everything on Benina, Isle of Wight 22, and West Coast Local. West Coast Local's not as bad as people say it is. The 150's not amazing, but if you didn't know that the 150 didn't sound right, you'd probably never know. So if you weren't really familiar with 150s, you'd probably never know that it's a bit off. Depends what you care about, I suppose. Now, do I just let this thing accelerate itself, or should I bother doing it? I think we'll do it. Take control. Train Sim World 5 Driver 1951. We'll change it when Train Sim World 6 comes out. I shouldn't say when. Is it coming out? Don't know. I don't have any information there. Well, I'm just guessing, you know. Yeah, I saw there was a derailment of a 395 at Ramsgate. Low speed derailment. My guess would be someone drove through a set of catch points against a red signal. That would be my bet. Because it's sitting off to the side of the line there, and that is normally how that would happen. Tam Walker says, I'm so far back in the stream, I'll watch you once this is done. Thanks for great streaming as always. You're welcome, Tam. Thank you for coming along. Andy Thorne in the vertical chat has said, actively playing some of the lovely children platform Roblox, the place of all iPad children. Currently working on a custom runway in one of the games I play. Still massive work in progress, but there are some amazingly creative people doing things in Roblox. And the fact that some of them are 10 just makes it the more amazing. Some of the things that are being done, like my railway is being built in Roblox. The one I operate on, which is awesome. It's kind of good stuff. Andy says, we're real funny if it had a DVD or DSD activation right now. Fortunately, this train doesn't have either of them. Andy asks, what's my opinion on the repeated series of Train Sim World to 2020 to 2005? So bring it on. Everything has to progress and grow in life. Each new version has brought some new things. It's starting to slow down for the 75 zone that's coming up. Sai says it'll be announced August 25, out in September 25. That's always possible. Or they'll surprise us and do something different. We'll see, won't we? I don't know. Train Sim World 5 driver 1951 says yes next to a family house. Almost hit their garden. Yeah, look, catch points are normally set up to stop trains running out onto the main line. They put them in the dirt instead, but they are usually aimed in such a way that the train will come to a stop in a way that might be close to things but won't hit anything. So those people should probably be happy. Little farms along the way, the modern style of farm. Bit of passive-aggressive door slamming from someone in my family up there. Dave says that yes, the 150 sounds are terrible, but normally have a podcast on while driving, so not bothered. ACAAJW2, I'm not quite sure how to say that. Akaj, maybe? This is my first live of mine. Oh, welcome along. We roll through Penrith on our little non-stopper. Now, the people that asked about neutral zones, in fact, I better start running down because I can see one, but there is a substation right there. So that thing there is a substation, so somewhere around here there will be a neutral zone. We've probably already passed through it, I suspect, because it's normally very close to the substation, so it should be safe to notch back up again. So we'll do that. Andy says, well, TSD, I'm going to pop off. Might rejoin for later to how you get to Penrith. How long do you say till then? Well, we just got through Penrith, so there you go. Yorkshire Train Spotter, welcome along. Can't wait to see what will be announced for Dovetail's December season of release. Excited to see what route Incredible Trains are making. Yeah, it could be quite interesting, I think, what's coming up in December, because I think it's the impression I get is they're going to go an advent calendar type of thing, so you could probably expect a few announcements, I guess, as we progress through the month. AC is fine, that's cool. 15 miles to Carlisle and the end of this particular run. If anybody's got a particular service they would like me to run on this route in the snow, let me know. We could do one of the rail tour ones, I suppose. That could be interesting. I was in Yorkshire in June. Spent some time in New York in the train museum with Dave Randall and Richie. And then went off to the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Went there by train, came back by bus. It was easier. Sai says, I feel Incredible Trains could potentially be the only ones to give JT a run for their money after reading their input on the roadmap. Yeah, we'll see. AC says, Just Trains have raised the bar with this route. Yeah, they have. Scenically, there's a lot of good things about this. It's probably on a par with Niddletaban, I think, scenically. So, it, you know, looks good. It does have its share of issues, like any route does. There is a patch coming, so we should see that relatively soon, probably within a couple of weeks, I would think. That's addressing some of those issues. If you've got any issues, make sure they're reported either via the feedback thread on the forums, or you can get things to me and I can report them to DTG through the Ambassador channel. Either way works fine. Train Sim World 5 Driver 1951 says, what is your favourite UK train? I think the 101. It's the one I like. And I'm looking forward to the 104 coming from Simtrack for Peak Forest. I just know they're working on something else at the moment, so it's a bit on hold. Simtrack's only a small group. There is, I think there is, the 37 does layer onto this, I think. So we can have a look. Fernando, hello to you. Dave Randall says, was a good day. Trains and a few beers. That's always a good day. But yeah, it was fun. And a shovel. Don't forget a shovel. I was using that shovel last night. Reminds me, I better put it back in the garage. It's in the kitchen at the moment. The Chief Finance Minister won't be that happy that it's in the kitchen. Roast beef with Yorkshire pudding. Why not? Hello, Mark Moss. How are you? Welcome along. Now you see, it would have to be a rail fan that lived here, wouldn't it? It'd just have to be. Simtrack did the scenarios on here. Yes, they did, Dave. But they've got another project of their own that they're working on as well. It's quite a big one. So the peak stuff will wait a little while, I suspect. It's time to start slowing down for Carlisle. Ooh, slippy, slippy. There we go, she's got it this time. When does the December thing kick off, Si? December. Which should be today for me. It's the 1st. So I would expect the the announcements to start in the coming week, I would imagine. Dave Randall says the 37 does layer on here. We might jump in a 37 then. Sounds like rail tours. Yes, the Chief Finance Minister, psych. So says that would be my idea of a perfect place to live. Si says Manchester Airport and most definitely the Welsh route are the ones that he's excited about. I'm not sure about Manchester Airport. It just sounds a little short. I mean, maybe it'll be good, but we'll see. Dave says Monday the 2 p.m. UTC. Well, there you go. I'll be asleep then. Actually, maybe I won't. 2 p.m. Yeah, I think I will be asleep. It's the middle of the night. Rails asked for thoughts on Metra's latest veterans unit. I don't know. It's just a train. Yorkshire Train Spotter says, remember correctly, doing announcements every day on weekdays. Yeah, I think that's the case. Which is why I think it's an Advent type thing, because they're doing announcements every day. Florian read on the forum, the first reveals Monday 2 p.m. UTC. I think the ambassadors have a timetable of sorts for it, but can't reveal anything before they do. Three miles to Carlisle. Slowed down a little bit. Probably have to think about slowing down some more soon. About now even. AC is looking forward to the Japanese route. So am I actually. Tadami line should be good. And the screenshots look pretty good so far. And we saw the early 3D model of the train. It's one of those funny things. The person that's making it for them has released it. Stealing their thunder, as it were. Si says a bit iffy about the Manchester route. Seems a little pointless to reuse 323 again, but see what it looks like first. Like, I understand why they're not doing a train for their first one. I think that's fair enough. They just want to get a route out and get some experience with that before they do a train. Syke says, a bit of trivia, watched a YouTube video about secret codes and they gave one used on the underground. If there is a fire, they page Inspector Sands to Platform 2. Fair enough. What if there isn't a Platform 2? I can see a double yellow coming up there in the distance. Florian says, I'm still very much hoping the Colin Arkin timetable update is coming soonish. It's been on the roadmap forever. That's one guy doing that. But it would be good to have it out as we arrive into Carlisle. Dave says Cardiff is the one he's most excited for, but will be overcritical, has spent a lot of time there growing up. Well, it'd be good to know what it's like and whether it's accurate or not. I've fairly recently been there, but not in that time period, obviously. AC says he's in Bobby Sands. That's a bit on the nose. Train Sim World 5 asks if Shinkansen coming to the game. Not that I'm aware of. I think in the length of Train Sim World routes, driving the Shinkansen would last about 6 seconds. Slowly glide our way into Carlisle. Sai says, same Dave, so excited for the Welsh route. I'd love to be on the TFW 197s, but more likely be the 150/53. We shall see. So I'll have to come back to the UK with that route and this, and play it on the train. Because, you know, you'd have to. You'd probably get arrested for terrorism, but, you know, you have to. Yeah, the snow modelling on that's pretty good. The warm bits don't have snow and the cold bits do. Now arriving, Carlisle. You don't have to go home, but you do have to get off my train. Actually, I think this is a through, so you probably don't. No, don't stop here. Stopping here would be silly. Just power our way straight to a red signal. There's a good idea. I do like that the AI trains honk on this route. I wish more routes did that. That went well. Of course, it's going to get slippery just as I'm approaching a red, isn't it? That'd be right. See how close it gets. Oh, I'm happy with that. Get the doors open. Syke says they send him to wherever the fire is suspected to be confirmed. Originated in the theatre world after Glasgow crush tragedy when they're actually shouting out fire was learned to be bad. Yes! Train Sim World 5 driver says going from Cardiff all around Wales. And Sai says, yes, come back to the UK so we can meet again. Won't be this awkward potato again. You weren't awkward, you were fine. There we go. Platinum. Let's have a look at the, what have we got for a 37? Oh, I didn't want to return to timetable, did I? That's 87s. Sigh. That's okay. How are we doing for time? Pretty good. Right, let's pop back to the main menu because we want to have a look at 37s this time. Wherever they're hiding. That one. Tees Valley. What do we get? That one's in the middle of the night, so it'll be dark. That one's in the afternoon. Click through to Gunny Part 1. Oh, why don't we run that? That looks alright. And we'll go back into the snow again, of course. Because we can. Snowstorm. Bit of fog. Lots of wetness. Well, not that much. It's a 37. It's slippery. And lots of wind. Good. Train Sim World 5 driver after you can see the scenarios. When we've done this, yes. No, so this is in the dark too. Good. Alright, let's wake this thing up. It's been a little while. I should plug the rail driver back in because it'll actually work with the strain. I think it will anyway. Yeah, it seems to be. Alright, where's the master switch on this thing? It's hiding around the back somewhere, isn't it? Get those brakes off, get those brakes on. Where is the master switch? There it is. Get the window open so we can see. Get a bit of wiper happening. Get a bit happening on that one as well. Wow. Get a bit of run happening over there. Probably want a bit more wiper than that, I think. And AWS on this thing. Change ends. And... can we test the fire alarm on this one? No. Boring. What we got up there? MCB, lighting, route indicator. Don't need tail lights. Instruments. Interior. We could probably knock that off now. Waiting for 1 minute. Don't need slow speed control. I think we're good. Good to go. What do we got? We got two 37s. And a bunch of squishy tanks. And a pacer. We should do a pacer in the snow after this. That'll be good. Alright, let's just get that into forwards. Always good for whacking the like button. Yes, please. In both chats. It helps people make things work. It helps YouTube promote it. It is a bit dark. Let me know if you prefer to drive with the internal lights on or off. I prefer off, personally. Dan Baker in the vertical chat. Den Baker, sorry. Says, what frame rate like for you on Series X? I get split spec and drops from 24 to 60 causing audio skips. Well, I'm running on 55 at the moment. That's part of this game, the audio skips. It does happen. It usually happens when Unreal goes off and does a garbage collection. Can't quite accelerate yet. Night lighting's nice so far. Even in the snow. It's interesting how all those lights came on while we were looking at them, isn't it? That's a big light, that one. Church is nicely lit. Going too fast, but whatever. 37 is quite nice. Brad says he finds sound skips occur just before Unreal crashes. That does happen too. Not as much as it used to, but it does still happen. And Den, no worries at all. Look at the strength of those English train headlights. They're so bright. Can't see the Gretas. The best way to avoid frame drops is to run the first time you get a route, they're unavoidable because it's loading shaders and things. But the best way I find to get rid of them is I'll run an AI service and I'll ride in the thing on the external camera, and I'll do that day in both directions, and then I do a night one in both directions. And I don't bother watching that because it skips and jumps and pauses and does all sorts of horrible things. This train must be pretty heavy for the 37s to not be accelerating very much. But it hasn't got many carriages. We are going 24 miles on this part of the journey. Up into the yard here. And what are we doing after that? Wait for a minute. Go to the Grey Grig down Goods Loop. Which is about similar distance again, I think. I wonder... Oops, sorry. Just try a little experiment. If I go and find my source... And... Please, no... Oops, going a bit quick. I'm just trying to make this a bit brighter for the stream. I'm just mucking around in OBS, trying to find a way to do it. Not that one. Doesn't seem to be a way to do it, which is a bit boring. Ooh, that wasn't good. That doesn't work well at all, does it? Alright, we'll get rid of that. Made it brighter, but it just made it horrible. Never mind. That's fine. I suppose I should think about slowing down a little bit, since we're speeding and being naughty. Yeah, it is hard to see things, the main engines, so, Sai does say skip to the pacer. What do you want to do, chat? Do you want to jump onto a pacer during the day, or stick with this 37 at night? Florian says we'll redo this run in summer. Yeah, it's an option. Why don't we find out? Let's chuck in a poll. Si's saying skip. Alright, out we go. Yes, nighttime runs are best experienced on your own. Now we will look at the scenarios before we jump into route. Now, do we do this one as the 37 up front? Or do we do the pacer in the snow? You guys can choose. But let's have a look at the scenarios while you guys are thinking about it. So there are 5. There's southbound liner. Operate a liner train from Kingmore to Preston. Late running passenger services mean you'll be looped on numerous occasions. 2 hours 25. Longest scenario in the game, I believe. The Curragh collection, using the Kingmore shunter to take some broken wagons to the works and bring back some freshly repaired ones. The only reason this is so long is because it's limited to 15 mile an hour, and it's quite a trip. Then there's Tap Changer, which is operating the Christmas relief train from Preston to Carlisle, so you're following another train directly behind it. In the snow, in the dark. First generation stopper, operate a round trip from Carnforth to Morecambe, taking workers home in time for dinner. This one's quite a bit of fun, actually. I like this one. And interestingly, you learn that you don't actually have Carnforth in the game. And then there's Broken Down, which is rescue a failed down service that is blocking the line and bring the stranded passengers to Carlisle. Florian says Broken Down is fun. Alright, let's pop out and go find ourselves a pacer. Come out all the way back out to the main menu now. Choose a route. Timetable. Ooh, which pacer should we run? I think we might run the scary orange pacer. This one. 4 cars. Kingmore Depot to Carlisle. They're all a bit short, aren't they? One of these has got a full-length run. There's one full-length run, the whole route. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see which pacer it is. I just got told it exists. I haven't actually played it. Oh, that might be it. Carnforth to York. 41 minutes. Well, it's Morecambe to Preston. Yeah, we'll do that. It's not the full length, but it's not bad. And there's Preston to Barrow, which is going the other way. But let's run Carnforth to York. And we shall go back into the snow, of course. December should be fine. Snowstorm should be fine. Let's go half wetness, because, you know, pace is a slippy bugger. Bit of fog. Go. Yes. Driver. The pumpkin train, that's it. Oh, it's dark. It's dark. Alright. Let's jump back out to the main menu, because we don't want one that's dark, do we? That was the whole point of stopping the 37. Let's see if there's a later one. We wait for it to think about it for a little while. Spin, spin, spin goes the spinning pinwheel of death. Was the one going the other way any better? There's 36. That's at 4:22. That'll be dark as well in the snow. There was only that really early one. 8:53, that might be alright. Preston to Carlisle. Let's give that a crack. Oh, that's full way. In a pacer. In 35 minutes. No way. That's not possible. Alright. Damn you, dynamic weather. Go away. I will go light snow then. Fine. Bit of wind. Go. Yep. This should be daytime. Den Baker in the vertical chat says, what would you say to more steam locomotives? Accurate firing physics weren't a concern, but everything else was exceptionally done, from sounds, details, braking, and tractive efforts. Look, I am a real-life fireman. Real-life firing in a game would suck, because it actually requires a lot of knowledge. And most people just aren't going to have it. So they'll have a horrible time, and they won't understand why they're having a horrible time. Destination light, instrument panel, headlights. Let's turn on some AWS. There is a game coming with, actually I should answer your question first. I would like more steam engines. I'd be very happy to get more steam engines. Where are we going? Lancaster and then Carnforth. Okay. Does this one have Carnforth? Because the 101 doesn't. No, does not have Carnforth. Alright, we'll go to the nearest thing. We'll start with something with C. Carlisle will do fine. It's, where's the blind thing? There is a way to open this blind. There we go. Let's pop down the other end and make sure we've got tail lights set. Which I think we probably will have. We do have tail lights set. Let's put the destination light on and set this to Carlisle as well. I know lots of people were busily looking at the destinations on the Pacer going, ooh, this must be the next place they've gone. Because no one really noticed that the new route was in the Pacer. There's our guard's whistle. It's someone else's guard's whistle. Over there. Not ours at all. And we can get out of here by the looks of things. We're chasing that light engine out of here, which is interesting. Nothing really need the right wiper, you can't see out there anyway. Psych, thank you. AC says only runs to Carnforth. Yes, this is true. We don't have Carnforth in the game, unfortunately. It's not in the list of destinations on the Pacer. I probably shouldn't accelerate, because... red. was watching an interesting training video for diesel multiple units and for electric multiple units. It was about braking, and they said that you should always go for step 2, no matter what braking you need. Because if step 2, if you've got snow or ice or anything like that, will clear it. And then you've got step 3 to go to if you need it. Or step 1 to drop back to if you don't need so much braking. Well, yeah, it makes a bit of sense, because if you put it in step 1 in winter time, it doesn't actually grip the wheel if it's that kind of brake, or it doesn't grip the disc well enough to clear all the snow and ice from it. Judging by the HUD, our signals are clearing, so we can start picking up. It's alright, AC, no worries. Have I seen the Greater Anglia? Not in the game. There's our pacer. Got another yellow, little tree growing out of the road there. Go, little pacer, go. I was looking for a sand button, but I guess the pacers don't need sand because they're so non-powerful, they probably can't slip. HD Gaming 360 says, coming back to Steam, it'd be good to see the Mallard. Indeed, very famous steam locomotive. And Den Baker says, the rumour is firing physics are the deal breaker along with poor sales, but I love that we have 4. Level 125 with the Jubilee, and now I'm leveling up to Flying Scotsman, leveling 100, currently at 83. That's cool. I lose my levels all the time because being in beta, I flip back and forth between live like I am now and beta, and it just screws everything up. But I've organised a new big thing. I'm going to be beta testing on the Xbox from now on, which means in Steam I will be staying in either the public or preview builds, which will be much better because they actually share config files. So it shouldn't break anything quite so much. As we cruise off to Lanka. Ah, nice, Hubert. Welcome to membership, Dave Randall. That means in Railroader you'll get a named carriage, if you haven't already got one. Some of my regulars who aren't members get them as well. You think of all the people getting seasick in the pacer. That looks remarkably like a yellow signal up there. Just as we were getting up to speed and it was getting interesting. Yes, we can see the train. This is good. Yorkshire Train Spotter says, I'm hoping the big announcement at the end of December will be a return to Steam. Well, you never know, I guess. We'll find out at the end of December, won't we? I just hope it's not something anticlimactic, because, you know, they're hyping us up for a big announcement. So I hope it really is a big announcement and not some little thing that we won't care about. Better yet, I hope it's something controversial. Whoop, that's where I want to be. On the bridge. On top of the bridge. There we go. What a time for an AWS. Still on the double yellows. We can just keep cruising along. Sai says, end of December. Big announcement is TSW 6, and they're telling us early. That's funny. AC also agrees TSW 6. What if it's something else? What do you think it might be? Walker B in the vertical chat. Hello to you. I am in Melbourne, in Australia. Bottom right-hand corner of Australia. Ooh, sewage treatment. It's a business that's just full of shit. And if people are wondering why I'm not accelerating, it's because we're running along on the yellows. Which makes me think we're following something. So let's have a look. What are we following? Haven't seen it yet. Ah, there it is. What is it? AI Service 4S89 Freightliner. Okay. We're following a freight train. It's handy to have a passenger train stuck behind a freight train. Yorkshire Train Spotter says that he's afraid of it being TW6. Hi, hello to you. Welcome. Train Plane Spotter in the vertical says, no way, I just stumbled across TSW. I'm playing it with an 87. Fantastic. We were playing with an 87 just before. Now we're in a bus, kinda. How funny would it be if they were announcing TSW 6 in December, though? It's like, we're going to give you 6 months to get used to it. Because you know what would happen then, don't you? I'd have to do this again. I'm easily amused. I better not do that, I'll get yelled at. Now we're getting back on the greens. That's good. That freight train must be picking up speed a little bit. Den Baker said, steam please, more steam, a standard class 5 or a tank engine, preferably a pannier or maybe something from Australia. I would like an Australian route. I know Matt was here for a while. He was based in Sydney when he was here, so he's used to Sydney trains. I wouldn't mind if it was Sydney, even though Melbourne people reputedly hate Sydney. You know, we're bigger, better, more livable, whatever. But it's all good. Because it would be an Australian route, and I'd be very happy with that. So, we'll see. It would be good. Florian says, I think it might be a new gameplay aspect. There was something about it in the survey the other day. There was quite a few in there, like Dispatcher. I'd like Dispatcher. Is well, look, a neutral zone, but we're in a diesel, so I don't care. When I play Run 8, I haven't actually played it this year, but when I play Run 8, usually when I get on the server, I do the Dispatcher, because it's a fun job. And that'd be awesome in this game. Yorkshire Train Spotter says maybe it'll be another new country. It would be cool to have Australia. Yeah, indeed. I don't think we'll see subscriptions for TSW. I'd be a little bit surprised. I've been surprised before, though, but I don't think so. I mean, for some people, that sort of model actually makes sense because they're not collecting routes and jumping around and playing them lots. Kind of like Game Pass people and the PlayStation equivalent of. It's good for those kinds of people, subscriptions. Because it's what they're used to. "12 miles to Lancaster." We are still on the greens, so we can keep a bit of speed on. What's this coming the other way? It's an 87 with some steel. Ooh, steel train would be fun in the snow, wouldn't it? Hey, Kuminati. AC says, "I've always quite fancied an Indian route." Yeah, Indian railways would be kind of cool. Certainly have a big player audience, so perhaps one of the TSC developers that builds for TSC for Indian trains might consider making the jump to Train Sim World. They might not like it though, because they can only release through Dovetail. They can't release any other way like they do independently at the moment. So I noticed the I had a look into getting some Indian routes, but the sales practices, and there's a couple of other TSC providers do this too, so this is not just an Indian thing, there's a few other third parties do this. They're quite predatory in the way they work. So you've got to buy this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and you've got to go here and buy this thing, and go to this guy and buy this thing, and you need all of it to make it work, so it just seems a bit predatory. I kind of like the model where you buy it and you get the whole lot. It's all there. Sai says needs to go to an Indian restaurant. We actually did that a couple of weeks ago. Some very nice curry. There's a lot in Australia because Melbourne is like Little India. A couple of our suburbs are quite Indian. So there's some very nice Indian foods to be had around here. It's one of the cool things about Melbourne is pretty much everyone's here. So there's so many different foods you can get your hands on. Dispatcher mode I think would be good, Florian. I'd actually like to see two variants on Dispatcher. I'd like to see Dispatcher where you're running the entire railway. That would be one of them. So being similar to, say, running the Birmingham New Street box. Something like that, where you're running a really big area. But the other thing I'd really like to see is on routes like this one that's got local boxes, is running the local box and accepting trains and passing them on to the next box. I think that would be a lot of fun, and covering any local shunting that happens in your yard as well. I think that would be very cool. What is the top speed of a pacer? 75. And we're doing 80. I was never here. How fast can a pacer go? Should we find out? Sure. Why not? Florian says Australia, Sydney, would TSW be a dream come true? I mean, I'd love to see Werribee to Frankston, because you've got the steel trains. If you did it in the 90s, there would be steel trains, coal trains, various other freights. There'd be local freights in some of the yards actually late 80s would want to be the time for that. You'd get coal deliveries and all sorts of things. It'd be cool. I think we know how fast a pacer can go. 79 would appear to be it. Kuminati says, don't they have the highest running speed freight? Do you mean freight, I guess, in India? I don't know. Maybe. Florian says, Lygon Street was always brilliant for Italian food. Yeah, there's got a whole lot of other things in there now. It's not got the big concentration of Italian anymore. Basically, the people that immigrate to the country tend to follow in a circle. They start in particular suburbs and they move on to the next one as their things get up and gradually spread out everywhere. AC says 80 in a pacer. Click on for dear life. We haven't quite managed to get to 80, but yes, bouncy. There you go, you can see just how bouncy it is there. I was very happy when we saw this level of bouncy, because that's what you want from suspension. $5 miles to Lanky. Den Baker says TSW6 is an option for December. Ah, we'll see. I think TSW5 was pretty well received because you could get it for free. You didn't have to pay to get the upgrade. So in 3 and 4, you were kind of forced into it so you could get new DLCs. You had to buy it. Whereas, because 5 came out for free, I think that bad feeling evaporated. There were a few people that missed the bus and still had bad feeling, but, you know, it wasn't really justified. So they quickly went quiet. Chase DeFox asks, what would the GAN like be in a game like this? Monumentally boring. It's like 4,000 kilometers of sand. Better start thinking about slowing down. Rails says French food is a win from what I heard. In French schools, they hire professional chefs to cook meals for students. That's possible. Sawyer asks, how did you become an ambassador for DTG? Well, it's actually an interesting story. I got into beta, and then one day I said to Nat, and I said, look, I'm already in beta, so I don't need any keys. How about I become an ambassador? And she looked at my channel with about, I don't know, I think I had 300 people or something then, and she went, well, it's a bit unusual, but all right. So that's kind of how it happened. Shake, rattle, and roll indeed, Florian. Jacob 8VR, hello. How are you doing? Well, I am. Train Plane Spotter says apparently I got a .01 achievement on Preston to Carlisle. It's complete 20 services achievement. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it'll take people a little while to do that, I suppose, because they are about an hour and a half each. Mind you, you could go and do 22-minute ones if you wanted to. The only way to get suspension physics as a passenger is to drive and then go and sit in the back. Because the suspension's only implemented on the player's driven train, not AI trains. But I dare say that it would be possible to implement it on passenger trains and the one that you're riding in. But at the moment AI trains don't really have physics, so there'd be a bit of work to do. Clear the snow and then come back to step 1. AWS warning of the flashing yellow here. So we slowly make our way into Lancaster. Lots of birds for such a snowy day. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I don't think it's an insurmountable thing. I think it could be done. Yeah, so the way the AI trains work currently, they don't actually use the simulator. So only the player's train gets the simulator. So what they'd have to do is make a version of the AI that knows how to drive a train properly. So there's a bit of work to do there. Because just having suspension... I suppose they could do a part-way model where they're using the simulator for suspension and not for the rest. Oh, if you like suspension, by the way, and you're on PC, Diesel Railcar Simulator. Best suspension anywhere. Every piece of every bogie moves. There's an 87 going on the full burn going the other direction. Jacob asks, what American freight engine do I like? I like the SD42. Because it sounds like the things I work on. Rails ask, what about suspension system physics for freight trains? That would be good. Some of the German trains have got freight suspension. And I think the container wagons in this route have suspension. They do look better bouncing, you're right. Jacob likes the AC4400 and the ES44C4. That's cool. Rails says SD40-2s are the best diesel-electric locomotive models produced. They are a good machine. They're old enough that everything has to be done manually, and they're new enough that they're fairly easy to drive. Uberk says he prefers the US locos that sound like no-habs, but that is no surprise. There you go. It's interesting, you know, I hadn't even heard of the word no-hab until a couple of weeks ago, and now it's everywhere. It's like Google went, you need to know about no-habs. It's like, okay. Thanks. There's a set of catch points there, so we'll let this train go past. So this is a set of catch points, just here with these tracks that just go off into the side there. And they're designed to send any train up through there. And with the channel that's here, the train will get stuck there. It'll probably tear up the signalling, but it'll get stuck in there and it won't be able to go anywhere else. All the passengers are going, what did we stop out here for?
Shortly be arriving at Solwick.
No, we're not. That must be the nearest station on the Blackpool Branches route. Right, you don't want me to load passengers? Well, we're going to load passengers, so there. Remember me? Yeah, I'm the guy that you didn't give a coffee to. Why are you wearing a short sleeve shirt in the snow? What's going on there? Bit weird. Anyway. Purple fingernails. Stylish. Alright, get the coffee. Come on. There, machine. Alright. Back we go in the Pacer of Doom. If I can get in the door. Where is the buzzy thing? Train plane spotter in the vertical says apparently the 175 is being leased by GWR. What routes do you think they'll serve? That's an interesting question. We'll probably have to wait and see on that one. Isaacata says, what are the chances of another West Midlands railway line being added? Probably about the same as anything else, I imagine. But they tend to go region to region to region to region as they move around in the UK. Or Dovetail do anyway. So if you've got route suggestions, over on Dovetail's forums, there is a suggestions set of threads. So basically write up your suggestion with some photos, explain why it would be good, why the players would receive it well, why it would sell well, and what you'd particularly like to see in it, because those suggestions are where some of the routes come from. And once again, we just have to, whoops, focus, focus, focus. Focus some more. Let's do a silly one. Like that. That'll do. Whoops, stop it. Motion blur, of course. Lots of motion blur. Because, you know, that looks terrible. That didn't work well at all. Alright, no motion blur. Done. And poor little Pacer's working its hardest. There you go. You can see me now. Who would have thunk it? Back up to 50 mile an hour already. 4.9 miles to Carnforth, which is as far as we're going on this service. Jacob says he wishes Dovetail would make an SD70 Mac for CJP because we need another EMD. There is an SD70 in the game, but not in the Mac. And Rails said that Class 1s run a lot of no-habs with or without rebuilds. Yeah. Where are they? Are the sheep under the snow? I guess they could be. Hey, is my front carriage empty? Oh no, they just weren't drawing. Ooh, 80. Highest speed ever in a Pacer. Is that one of the explorable boxes? Is the door open? It is. Can't get in there, but, you know. Oh, it's a modern one. So I reckon this is a possibility. That's why I think, you know, dispatch could come. Because, you know, there's boxes with stuff. How cool would it be? Rails says an SD70 Mac will go crazy. Double yellows coming up. That's a sad little horn. It's in a cage. Now I can't get to it. Of course I can't get to it. That would make sense, wouldn't it? There you go. There it is. Down there. There's a horn in a cage. Red Arrow says, loves the Class 87. Uberk says, already spent many an hour in that signal boxing game. Cool. We could spawn there in the early morning peak and watch some trains go past. Got a red before the platform this time by the looks of it. It could be an approach control red, I suppose. We'll see. The Pacer is one axled. You're absolutely correct. They are basically a bus. They're built on a freight chassis.
Is Solwick, where this train terminates.
Slowly cruising towards the red, blindly hoping it'll change. What's in front of us? Here's our little Pacer here. We've got reds everywhere, but I don't see another train. So you're not going anywhere. There's nothing coming in from the portal. Oh, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that. Whoosh. Are we going to clear now? Signal CS2. Why is CS2 red? So we're not waiting for that one, clearly. Anything else coming? Doesn't look like it. Nothing close. Are we early or something? No, we're not early. We're late. Move up and wait. All right. Oh, it's approach control. What a wanker. That's one of these moments. No, it's a problem between the chair and the keyboard. Pedcac. It's always funny, after firing the steam engine, I always find little bits of coal in my ears. Thank you, Florian.
Shortly be arriving at Solwick, where this train terminates.
That's pretty much it for the pacer. Well, kicked out of the chair already. Look at that. What are we going to do now? There was something we were going to do. Anybody remember what it was we were going to do? What are our other choices? A Class 08? Class 20? What does that run? Must be a rail tour, surely. Oh no. Oh yeah, they are rail tours. Well, why don't we run these? Part 1 and Part 2. And that'll be it for today. I think that'll be fine. Let's leave dynamic weather on for a change. We'll start with light clouds. Go. Red Arrow suggested 87 to Doncaster. Jubilee up Shap. Well, I don't think the Jubilee would get up Shap. Scotsman barely gets up Shap. Scotsman's much better than Jubilee. Okay. Unlock the doors then. Been a while since I've driven this. Where's the master key? Where is it? Is it over there somewhere? Oh, there it is. Should I put that in mine though? Or is it that one okay? No, mine hasn't got one. Alright, we're going to drive from over here. And apply the locomotive brake, release the train brakes. Oh, it's backwards on the rail driver. Well, that's going to be an interesting experience. Cab heater. Oh, I better put cab heater on. No, it's noisy. Can we test it? No. Where's AWS in this one? It's clearly got it. Ah, down there. Okay. How does it know which desk I'm driving from, I wonder? Handbrake's released. Does it glow? Oh, it does! Look at that! Glows! How cool's that? This one had a lot of interesting features. The Class 20 is the one that honks as well. It was the first train in the game as an AI to honk at things. Get on, rail fans. Let's go. No power. Okay, there's something else I need to turn on somewhere, clearly. What else do I need to turn on? Not even trying to make power, is it? Sounds like... is that my engine that's throbbing, or is that another one? Am I even making... Well, apparently it's running. There's a bit of exhaust there. What haven't I done? Must be something I haven't done. What's that do? Nothing obvious over here. Switches on. Can't imagine I need to put this reverser in. What have I forgotten? No, I don't think it's brakes, because it's not powering. See, if I release brakes and give it power, I get nothing. So it's not really trying. Okay, it revs up when it's not in forwards. What happens if it's in reverse? It powers. Okay. Just won't power going that way. Does that mean I need to drive it from the other bench, maybe? It would seem stupid, though. Let me try and move this without... Oh, it's in... But that says forwards, and it's in the off position. Ah, there must be a position just beyond. There we go, now it'll be fine. Yay! There we go. No, the brake's not in shutdown. It's in running. The issue was there's an off position that's not actually marked. So when I pushed it forward on the rail driver, it went beyond the forwards position. That's all good. We're going now. Well, we don't have snow for this one, because I forgot to put the snow on. But we played snow with everything else Sam's trains. Should I start this again with snow? Answer quickly. Ooh, there's two of them. Cool. That's an interesting question, German Warrior. Did the AI use windshield wipers in the snow on this route? I'm not sure. Well, let's start this one again in the snow, and then we'll watch out for that. Hang on, what service am I actually on? 1Z20. We'll find out. And I should be in the snow anyway, because I did advertise this stream as being in the snow, so we should do this. Sam's Trains asks a completely off-topic question. Why is 14A back on coal? Money, money, money is the answer to that question. Because to get to Gembrook takes 1,000 litres of diesel, which is about $2,500 for a trip just in fuel. And in coal, the same trip is only about $400. Snowstorm. Lots. We've got two of them. Let's go for maximum wetness. Touch of fog. Go. And then we'll keep an eye out for windscreen wipers. Mark, the AI on this route do use the horn. They do on Blackpool as well. It's a Just Trains thing, although the Class 20 has always used its horn, no matter what route it's on. There we go. Now we're in the snow, and I can set it up properly, and this time I'll look competent. You watch. Let's go and put the master key in. Doors open. Let's find the forward position. Come on, you. Come on. Oh, the throttle's wide open. Stupid rail driver config. There we go. Alright, now we're in snow. We might want a bit more. So there must be an instrument light switch somewhere. Let's find that. That's Demister. I love it that it's labelled with a little Dymo thing. Ah, lights. Excellent. Okay. Hopefully they're white, not red. Let's put all the markers on. We can be the Royal Train. Yay! That's better. Why am I over here in the 2 camera? It's like it thinks I'm on the pacer. No, they're red lights. Okay. So we only want the bottom ones on. Don't want the top ones on. And we're back over here again. Stuck on the pacer. Of course. That's better. Let's turn those down a little. This one I'm just on. Time to go. This looks much more competent than the last time. It's kind of like the brakes are on, but... They're not on. It just feels like they are. Oh, look at the speedometer. We have some very crazy slippage going on there. That's what was going on. Let's give it a little bit of throttle. Does it have sand? It does. Gee, a slippy old engine. Oh, we should have tail lights in that back one, and we don't. Oh well. You reckon I should flip more discs up? There's another one up there. That one doesn't seem to have a light in it, though. Can't get onto the switches in there, unfortunately. Get a bit more power into it now that we're moving. Hopefully we don't slide more. Seems to be going okay as long as I keep the sander on. She's fine now. Going okay. Ooh. Snowy. Grass sim world. Sam Strain says, so I could throw a few $20 notes into the coal fire with every shovel and still not cost as much as oil. Yes, that's it exactly, Sam. German Warrior says, most trains lack the detail and it seems a bit lazy not implementing AI use of wipers in rain and snow. They normally do. I know there are some routes where they don't. But there's plenty where they do as well. So we'll find out. We'll have a look at the next train that comes toward us. I know the ones that sitting still don't run their wipers. But it all depends on the train setup, because the AI trains aren't actually running the simulator. Only the player train runs the simulator, so if it's got wipers going, it's because they've written code to make wipers go without the simulator. And we're finally slowly picking up speed with our high-speed little heritage locomotives. Well, so we don't really need a red tail lights, because look what we've got on the back. We've got a flashing red. $40 miles an hour. Ooh, the speed. The pacer was faster than this. So when are we going to next see a train coming towards us? Not for a while, it seems. No, not for a while. "45 miles an hour. Does it get any quicker?" She's not the speediest thing in the world, is she? No. Kuminati says, yes, but the Pacer probably weighed an eighth of that train. Yes, this is true. But the Pacer's got a bus engine. These have a proper engine. Doesn't sound like the back one's running, actually. I mean, it's idling, but it doesn't sound like it's actually going hard. See how this one sounds? I think the one at the back's actually doing nothing. It's idling. So it's not a banker, it's just a wanker. It's just pulling you back. Burke's going to go horizontal himself now. Fair enough. Thanks for staying around, joining in. Ah, damn it. Yeah. Can I catch it before it gets out of this? I've got to get far enough in front of it to turn around and see if its windscreen's clear or not. Alright. Well, the glass is clear. I couldn't really tell if it was running wipers or not, but the glass was clear. "57 miles an hour. Can we handle the earth-shattering speed? You better hang on, folks." Last night I was leaning out the window trying to see if the injector was actually injecting or not, because it didn't sound right. Turns out it was. I got smacked in the head with a tree branch. Of course. Because it was wet, so they were droopy. And just we get to the station that we were stopping at so the participants could have the barbecue. And we got off the train. It started to rain as I got out to unhook us. We went across the crossing and waited for signals and came back and started taking water. The moment we're both outside handling the water, it pissed down. It's like, great. Perfect. We are finally getting some speed. I was just looking at your comment, Mark, where you said don't forget the Sanders exist. I just realised in the horizontal stream you can't see when the Sanders are on, because they're outside your field of view. We do have a horizontal stream for those who like horizontal. Link is in the description. And welcome along to all the people who are watching. It's good to have you. $69. Getting there. Just made it. Any canal boats on the canal that's over here? There is, look. Not frozen though. There's another one. And another one. AC says, not driven a Class 20 in a long time. Yeah, neither have I. That's why I struggled to get it moving. German Warrior says, most German routes, AI do not for some reason. It hurts immersion. I just think should be in every route now. It's a sim. It should be in there. OCD stickler for detail. I would suggest jumping on the forums and letting them know that it's important. And if you haven't taken the winter survey yet, one of the questions is there anything else you want to tell us? You could put it in there too. Find a railfan moment somewhere. Pile of sleepers, of course. Do one of these. Force the focus. Bit less. Bit of motion blur. Why not? Wait. Don't change your focal point on me. Yeah, you've gone too far. There it is there. Perfect. That'll be the shot. Why not? Have to use photos. Yeah, the survey's out, psych. Let me grab you a link. I'll chuck a link in the chat for both of them. Where is it? I should have it in here somewhere. Wow, the chat in my Discord's been a little noisy last few days. Where's the survey link? Trying to find it amongst all of the contributions from the people. I don't see it there. It's kind of annoying. There we go. Survey. Copy link. Hello, Polyard. How are you? There you go. That's the survey for Train Sim World. Ooh, what have I done wrong? Matt's messaging me. Sorry, I was just replying to Matt. 7 miles to Lancaster. Yeah, it's good that the AIs do blow their horns. I think it's not so much what Matt says it's hard because he wants to make it a core feature, which means it needs to know where it is. So it needs to know, for example, in Germany that you only blow horns at P markers. It needs to know that in the US you blow your horn with the 2 longs, a short and a long at every crossing except quiet zone crossings. And it needs to know that when the crossings are close together, they have to obey different rules. So all that has to get built into the core. So I think that's why they don't do it. Whereas in the UK, they blow horns when they're leaving the station, and they blow horns for crossings, and that's about it. So it's fairly simple to implement for the UK. Hello, Brizzy boy. Let's see if we can see whether this one's got wipers running or not, the one that's about to come towards us. Yeah, it's too hard to tell. The glass is certainly clear, but it's very hard to tell if it's running wipers or not. At that speed. Four miles to Lancaster. This is quite a nicely modelled little area. Lots of little plots. Many houses that are all the same, which is quite normal in this part of the world. It was actually kind of funny when I first saw that on UK routes. I used to think, no way they're all the same, and it's just streets and streets and streets of them are all the same. And then I went to the UK and I was like, they really are. They're all the same. thinking about starting to slow down. Now, I think German Warrior that the thinking is because he wants to put it into core. They haven't put it on the build list for UK routes either. But we might see it from other third parties. That wouldn't surprise me. And we're going to need a lot more train brakes and probably some sand, I think. Well, we ain't stopping. Mesolyptic J misses hearing these trains on the local line. Sure, they were loud and smelly, but he misses them. I can understand that. Loud and smelly is good. This is only a go via. We're not stopping. Better be on the front one, I think. Would be better. Oh, come on. Be on the front one. Oh, did I bring it all the way back here for some reason? There we go. Hey look, the carriage has suspension, but the loco doesn't. Oh, maybe it does. It is moving around a little bit. Maybe it does. Hmm. Double yellows. Stock at Morecambe. The German route that has the AI sounding at crossings. Does Niddletobahn do it? Can't say I've paid that much attention to it. Oh, we're missing a gratuitous bridge shot. Hello, John Hudson T. Going up the down line. Why not? Mesolyptic J says we had a lot of the electric class 310s and 312s too, hoping one day they'll make it into a train sim, but guessing that will be hard as all of them got scrapped in the 2000s. Oh, there's probably still video and photos available for them though. So you can probably still get enough reference material that the trains could get built. Hey, Milky Way in the vertical, how are you? Where is this signal? That's a cabinet. There it is. In the neutral zone, of course. And it's approach control anyway, I think. So we'll just keep going towards it. At our slow speed. I am playing Train Sim World 5, if you couldn't guess. Right now we are driving a service in a Class 20 and we are driving towards Morecambe, where this one will finish. And then we'll play part 2. Milky Way has switched over to the non-vertical. Welcome. Sometimes people do that. Yeah, it's quite a good game, Milky Way. It's got lots of good things and a few not so good things, but by and large it's fun. There we go, the approach control has come on, letting me know that we will be changing tracks shortly. If you want to play Train Sim World 5, you can actually get it for free at the moment on PlayStation, Xbox and on PC in the Steam store and the Epic store. Look for Train Sim World 5, and inside Train Sim World 5 on each platform you will find an option presented. It's a different way on every platform. In Steam, for example, there's a button that just says play now, and that takes you into the free version. Off we go onto the Morecambe branch around the corner. Oh, I'm being naughty. Too fast. You mean a big patch on Terra Valley? That's B99. Came out a while ago. Is there another one? Let's have a quick look. Maybe there's another new one. Let's have a look. Last update. Oh, 99.1. What have they done? Not that much by the looks of it. And we got the strange little chicane coming up. This is a weird arrangement, this. I know it's really like this, but this is a weird arrangement. I guess it's cheaper than having 4 sets of points because you only need 2. And on a less travelled line, it's less maintenance and there's less trains, so I guess it doesn't matter that they can't both occupy the same track at the same time. Give the rail fans a last bit of thrash. We're going to roll through Bear Lane anyway. Let's just roll up here into the Bear Lane box and we'll watch the train go past, because we can. Reality is you'd have to stop here, I think, to pick up a staff. German Warrior wishes a third-party dev would make a steam route in the US set in the 40s or 50s. Bit of big boy action, maybe. More thrash. Roll the rest of the way into Morecambe, I think. Kuminati says, even just the steam trains, you could do a rail tour over the current routes. Yeah, you could. The only downside of that is it means there's not much in the way of play opportunities. Because if they put it in the timetable for every route, they've got to release every route and test every route. And if they rely on people doing free roam, it probably wouldn't sell terribly well. So I think generally my sort of thinking is that a train would need to come with its own route to make sure it's got lots of good strong play, and then let people have the freedom which they've got with free roam to introduce it wherever they want. The percentage breaks on this thing don't really make sense. Coming in over the junction. Because it's got an initial application position which would be somewhere between 7 and 10 pounds. And then it's got a, if you go past that, it says service 1%. Milky Way says German Warrior, well, Alt Future is making US themed DLC sometime this year according to their plans, so they could make something like that. Yeah, cool. That's in derail, I assume. Are they going to use the existing derail Valley Milky Way, or are they talking about a an entirely new setup? Kuminati says, is this a junction from the screenshot they teased a few months back? Yeah, probably. That was a fairly large junction which got people confused, I think. Which is the idea. Hey, wow, look, the Ferris wheel runs in the snow. now arriving, Morecambe. Come down here for your pleasant day out in the seaside. You can probably scrape the snow away and find the sand. Milky Way says they claim they're going to add US-based trains and an inspired map to Derail Valley, as well as new couplers and some sort of ferry tunnel teleport system to get to the map. Oh, that's cool. I hadn't actually seen that anywhere. I'll have to go hunt that out. That would be worthy of a news article in the podcast. Let's see if I can find it now. Future plans. Does not have a shutdown spot. Come on, you do, don't you? You know you want to. Come on, one more. There we go. See you later. Have fun at the beach. Enjoy yourself. There's all my rail fans leaving. Where is it? There it is. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Milky Way, it's on their plans here. I just found it. Thanks. John Hudson T says, they say steam doesn't sell, but how about a new route with the new steam locomotive, new diesel as well? Something for everyone. Look, it might. It's a possibility. I think Flying Scotsman did okay from what I've heard. Looks like they've all gone. Sit back in the chair so I can lock the doors. And that should finish it. There we go. So now we'll do, even though it is getting a little late, but let's do part 2, because you don't want to leave it be, do you? No. Return to timetable. Back with the class 20 again, and we'll run the little short part B, which probably taking it up to Carnforth, I guess. Because I think it was only about 12 minutes, so it couldn't be all the way. 15 minutes, there we go. Nottingham to Barrow. Back into the snow, because I promised. Let's go light snow this time. Kuminati says, without sounding too mean, seems like everything is too hard. I don't know about that, but you know, you're welcome to that thought. I think it's probably like everything in life, a little bit more complicated than that. Are there things that I think they could do better? Yeah, of course there are. Come on, you gonna let me move that or not? Come on. Put the throttle into off and that'll work. Come on, there we go. Lovely. You gonna stay there though? Oi, throttle. Sticking off. Stay there. Let's put some lights on. this is the wrong one, isn't it? Actually, we're going to want to come back down to this one anyway. So let's do our disc from the outside, and we'll go down to that one and put its tail lights on. Look at all the birds circling around, waiting for chips. Clearly the rail fans aren't coming back with us for the last part of the trip, because they're all just running away and the train is empty. Give me a way to close the door. Alright, I'll leave the door open then, see if I care. That has got tail lights on. One more crack at the door. There we go. We have the signal to leave, which is good. Oh, there's a few people in there. Just a few. Most of our punters have nicked off. Ooh. I hope the stream's still alive. Oh, that's a bit weird. Is it alive? It is alive. Yay! Something happened to YouTube in the horizontal stream there, folks. Sorry about that. Not quite sure what happened then. I don't know if it was interrupted for you or if it was just me or what. But anyway, let's get back in the chair because it's time to go. Brakes charging. You're not going on, so we probably need to jiggle the throttle again. Let's try that. I'm gonna get some. There we go. Now we're getting some power. She's slippy. Let's just leave it at throttle on for the moment and let it start to roll. Might be better. Let's get this one going. Community says the stream stayed fine. That's good. Jack M. Yeah, something certainly weird happened to it in my view of it. Off we go to Carnforth as suspected. It's an enterable box. Good. I can't get it on the external camera though. Oh, look what's there. There's one of those castle things. Oh well, we'll just wave at it from here. Whipping through the curve on the points there. Not that we really should. Signal be writing in the book. Clearly went too fast. How are you, Jack M? We have the green for the left-hand branch. And away we go. I'm okay. You've been better. That doesn't sound good. Making our way through to Carlisle. Does the Class 20 use the new suspension? I don't think so, because it's only a layer. I can watch it as we run through here and see, but I really don't think so. I think the movement, it looks like the loco's moving, but I don't think it actually is. I think it's just, it's sitting still and the carriages are moving. So no, I don't think it has got suspension. Because it is only a layer into the route, it's not a re-release or anything. Well, I probably shouldn't be accelerating like this, should I? Given that we have a fairly tight set of points coming up. We have already got the signal. Let's come up here and watch the crossing. Why not? Sitting up here at Bear Lane. Good to see the cars driving with their windscreens all snowy. I think it stopped. Just looking at the rail driver. The rail driver says speed 0, so I think it's stopped. Go have a look. It has stopped. Look at that. Brakes are off. Come on, you can do it. Come on. I know it's uphill, but come on, little train, you can do it. Come on. Is it moving? Yeah, it's thinking about it. Wiggling. Just a tiny bit more. Come on, come on, come on, come on. The clunking you can hear is the sand lever. Wherever it is on here, it's probably over on that desk somewhere. Sigh. Hey, Michael. See, 500 amps isn't enough to lift it, because assume we're going uphill. Oh no, we're on the flat. Why can't it move then? Just to make sure it's not something weird. I assume that is in forward, yes. Come on, you can do it. No, stop going back to on. Bloody rail driver integration. Some of them have really good rail driver integration and some of them don't. Come on. Bit more. Tiny bit more. Come on. Enough to move, but not enough to slip. There we go. Gotcha. Come on. We give it a bit more now, safely, or not? Yeah, it's looking promising. Alright, now we can go watch the crossing. And hopefully it hasn't started yet. Oop, it's stuck. It's stuck on someone's chimney. This guy patiently waiting for us to get out of the way. Complete with a signal maintainer. Well, that one's not running its wipers, that's for sure. So there's your answer, German warrior. No, they're not running the wipers. Joseph Bland, hello. Finally got this route. Happy with the product. Blown train sims to a whole new level. Glad you like it. What's your favourite thing? back one really is just dead weight. It's just sitting there idling, getting dragged along. In the vertical chat, the person retracted their message. Okay. Got another 15 coming up. Yeah, cruising along at just about the right speed at the moment. It'll do anyway. There's an example of a substation supplying the route, and if we look over here you will discover a neutral zone sign, and if we go up here we'll discover another neutral zone sign. So one substation is supplying it part way. I would have actually expected that well, I suppose that could be completely dead, that section, but there's no insulators or anything modelled in it. But what I'd normally expect to find is one wire pulls off to the side and another one comes in the period where they overlap is neutral. Lots of 15s in this section. So I can't speed up too much as I'd like to. That and it's snowy, of course. This will be our last service today. Back on Wednesday night gaming. Might have a look at some TSC Welsh routes maybe on Wednesday. I think I've already got some, but we'll see what's available in the sale too. See if there's anything good. High speed 101 going the other way. Kind of the original rail bus, the 101. Jim Warrior says, I guess I'll be waiting a long time for the perfect route. It seems the route is missing something that takes away from realism. Unbelievable. Why can't I have a route with AI horns and snow? Well, I guess there's always something that doesn't make the cut. Is the answer to that question. So, you know, that's okay. I see you've retracted it. You don't have to retract that message. That's fine. Because that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with having a want or a desire. It's perfectly good. And everyone has their idea of what they want to get out of a game. And everyone's ideas are perfectly valid and right. May not match what comes, but it doesn't make the idea any less valid. Are we just going to Carnforth on this one? Yeah, we are. So we'll be finishing today's stream at Carnforth, because that puts us, what, 3.5 hours or so. That'll be enough for today. Joseph Bland says, as in anything with just trains like Western Main Lines is focused on the experience, the weathering on the models has improved as with new rolling stock. Class 87 tap changing is superior to TS Classic. I think it's a bit simpler to the one in Classic. Kuminati says, some ideas are more righter than others. It's actually interesting if you look at Just Train's progression as they went through life, because I think in their early days their TSC stuff wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. But they've just gone up a notch and up a notch and up a notch, and it's good to see. And I do agree that it would be good that more developers achieve this level. I don't pretend that that's always going to be possible, but it would be nice. I'd love to sort out shadow pop-ins. I should have put that on the survey. Because I'm just watching the trees pop in and the shadows get drawn, changing the appearance of the tree rather a lot. And yes, I know I can change it on PC to have my shadows draw out 10 kilometers in front of me, which means I'll never see it. But most players don't have that ability because most players are on console. Sam Strange says, some ideas not left, not right, but forward. Yep. I think it's time to start thinking about slowing down for Carnforth. Not that we're going exactly high speed, but this is a bit slippy. It's actually funny, I think it's been more slippy with wetness off than with wetness maxed. It's interesting. Remembering from last time, even I can learn, we have got an approach signal coming up. So we'll just roll on up to it and then slide into the platform. We could roll on up a little bit quicker than this though, I think. About 15 mile an hour will be fine. Kumardi says, I think the Unreal Engine helps because it's well documented and ubiquitous. It's a bit of a choice, Unreal or Unity, they're both quite good. Or you just go your own and roll your own engine, like Diesel Railcar Simulator guy did. I think D-Rail rolled their own too. Or did they use... No, maybe they used Unreal. One of the other train games rolled their own. Century of Steam has. I think. Or are they in Unity? I'll find out. Oh, this might not change actually, because I can see a 101 coming out of the platform. Oh, I hope I haven't left this too late. Oh, there we go. The 101 got out of the way. We're going to stop anyway, of course, which means we're going to wheel slip now. And just wait for the train brakes to recharge properly. And then give it some gentle throttle. The good thing is it's downhill this time. Hey, that one's got a destination display on. Cool. Community says, I'm a fan of your own engine, but get the business reason for small developers to use off the shelf. Oh, definitely. I don't think as a developer, if I was doing it, I don't think I'd roll my own, really. It just seems to be a lot of extra work. Mind you, I know that DTG have told us quite often that they've had to customize parts of Unreal to make it work. Things like having wheels that roll, for example, is not something Unreal 4 can do. We're going into the bay platform. This train's not going to fit in the bay platform. Oh no, we're not. It's okay. We're going into the main platform. It's all good. Don't ignore me. Any second now. Behind the non-existent yellow line, because this is the 80s and we didn't have yellow lines yet, because people were smart enough to stand behind where they should stand by themselves. That'll do, apparently. I'd have to wonder if the back of the train's in the platform. Oh, it is, look. That's lucky. Out you get, rail fans. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun. I like the little semaphores under the canopy over here. What if they ever hit anybody on the head? That'd be pretty close. And we get kicked out, and it's leaving. Only a glod. Oh well. That's life. Anyway, that's it for today. As usual, thanks very much for watching along and joining in. We had quite good viewers in both channels today, so that's excellent. And thanks for all the chat, as always. Appreciated. And Wednesday night gaming, I'll have a bit of a think about it, but maybe some Welsh stuff in TSC since someone asked for that. And we will see how to go. Joseph Land said, that's true. Less HR everywhere as well. That's true. Kuminati says, I've been told the yellow line wasn't for safety, but to allow passengers to disembark faster as they're not competing with people pushing on. No, I hadn't heard that, but it's possible. Anyway, enjoy yourselves, folks, and we shall see you on Wednesday night, hopefully. If not, next Sunday. Same time, same channel. Alrighty, have fun, folks. See you later. Bye. And of course, the vertical didn't go to the outro. Well, have fun. Bye.